This is Diane from Teach Pre-K, and this whole video I'm just going to talk about my New Year's resolution, which is to add more play into my classroom and different ideas that I've been coming up with, and I am ready to share. Hey, so like I said, I'm going to be talking about learning through play and making your classroom and your centers just a lot more playful. In a couple more videos, I'll go into, why play is so important and things like that. I just want to touch on how if you just spend a little of your planning time or a little time at the beginning of your day looking at what you have planned and thinking, okay, this is a good activity. How can I make this more playful and more engaging and more interesting? Can I add movement to this activity? Can I have the kids start at one end of the rug and go to the other end of the rug? I am going to be demonstrating how you can take regular centers and make them more playful in my next video. This video, I'm just really going to talk about as early childhood educators, we know children learn best through play. That's their language. That's how they process information, how they can work out conflict sometimes. They can use their imagination to even process trauma, things like that. So we are very well aware of that. I went to coffee with a little student who was in my pre-K class last year who moved to North Carolina, and he came back here for a visit and he wanted to see me. So I went to coffee with his mom, who has a 3-year-old as well and a baby. And this little guy, Ollie, he's now in kindergarten. Well, it was really interesting. I was asking his mom what, she thought of the kindergarten and the preschool. And she was like, well, it's pretty good. I really like the teachers. But she did say the hard thing for her was that the 3-year preschool is play-based, which my class is play-based, but they didn't do any letters, any numbers, any shapes. There were no learning and I guess academics. I'm doing air quotes way too much, but that wasn't part of their play-based curriculum, apparently. And I know there's two schools of thought. I know they're strictly academic, which I don't agree with. And I know they're strictly play, which I also am not the biggest fan of, because you've got these kids who are at an age where they are little sponges and they can learn and absorb so much. And a lot of them, when they start learning, they just want to learn more and more and more. So I think there is always a way to infuse the two. I think I've mentioned this in one of my previous videos. I think that my whole journey as an early childhood teacher has been always finding ways to bring that language of play in. And when it works, when I hit that sweet spot, when it's just the right amount of learning and playing, working together to make the experience just fantastic for the kids and super fun for me, I noticed that I have less behavior problems. So then this learning through play becomes a classroom management tool. Does that make sense? If my kids know that during center time, when they come to a teacher center, it's going to be fun and engaging, and they're going to get to do a game with a teacher that is passionate and super excited to do this with them, and gets a little silly and fun. And yeah, it can wear me out sometimes, but I notice that they are kinder to each other during center times. I don't have struggles getting them to come to teacher centers. I don't have very many problems when they're on the rug because I am doing engaging activities. We are singing, we are moving, we are jumping, we are up, down, saying the alphabet, counting, physically counting, showing on our hands, clapping. There's so many things, playing guessing games. Um, the more play that I can put into the classroom, and it doesn't have to be rowdy, crazy play that just winds them up. That's not what I'm talking about. It's a play that is, it just makes learning fun. I don't know if you remember, your school history and when you really got a concept. And I always think of like algebra, when I really got a concept in algebra and I was not a good math student, I loved it. It was so exciting. It was like solving a puzzle. It was no longer this drudgery. It was more playful for me. So we've got these kids that are ages 3 to 5. Some of you might have some 2-year olds. Some of you might be teaching kindergarten. So they might be a little bit older, but they are just primed and ready to just take off with learning like a rocket. So if we can take the way they learn the best and take the things that are going to be helpful for them to learn to be ready for kindergarten, where most of them are going to start reading and doing more complex addition, subtraction, learning more shapes and different things to do with shapes. If we can give them just this fantastic foundation in all those things, plus getting the social, emotional, and the things that are like our main objective is like learning how to be with your classmates and how to be in school. I mean, sky's the limit. We can just like have this like amazing classroom experience, an amazing experience for the kids, and an amazing experience for us as teachers. Because I know as teachers, we all thrive and we are all the happiest when we know we're getting in there and we're getting those kids excited about whatever it is they are learning. So I'm super passionate about this, and I am always, the wheels are always turning, and I'm always thinking, okay, how can I, what's another letter activity that I can do that's just going to be more fun and I can spice this up? And, what's another thing I can do with numbers? How can I maybe get these kids out of their chairs, get them roaming the halls, using flashlights, just whatever. I mean, you add a flashlight to anything, they're going to love it, right? Love it. So I've been off, for the winter break, and it's been great. I've had over 2 weeks. So I've been doing a lot of thinking. And while I was thinking, like I do a lot of letter matching games and like letter clipping the lowercase to the uppercase letter, things like that. I have them go around my rug, which is surrounded by letters, and we match upper and lowercase letters. They like it. They're up, they're moving, but I'm like, I want something more fun. So I started with this idea. I've got like winter and polar animals coming up. So I thought, like penguins dive in the water. So I thought I'm going to get penguins and I'm going to make like a little piece of ice with a hole in it, like ice fishing. And it was just gray at first, and they're going to have to drop the penguin and see if they can get it on the circle. And I'm like, that's fun, but that's not the most fun. Okay, so then I had all these little cups at home. These are Chinette, and they're from Costco, but Solo works too. So I made, these little like pieces of ice with the hole in the middle with an uppercase letter. So what I'm going to do, and I think when I do this with my class, which we'll be doing polar animals, not this week because it's a really short week, but next week, I think I'm only going to do half the alphabet one day and half the alphabet the other day because I think they're really going to love this activity. So now I've got the cup. And I've got something. This is going to be raised. I wish you could see it. Let's put my, okay, so it's going to be raised. Balance is great. I already have a solution for if this slips down like that. Perfect timing. Just get like a fat rubber band and stick it right under here, or a couple pieces of tape, and you'll be fine. And I don't think it will take that long to set up. But honestly, this one has been a little stretched out because I've been taking photos and whatever, but most of them stay on just totally fine. So I thought, okay, I don't want just a penguin to dive into this ice hole. So I've got my penguin with my lowercase a, but maybe a polar bear, because some people do a unit on penguins or a unit on polar bears. So I thought, perfect. But then, hello, how cute is this narwhal? So I thought, if I like do half the alphabet, mix up these letters, I give them a letter, they've got to go find the little ice with the little hole for the animals to dive in, and they can stand above it and drop it in. And I'm just making sure that they find the right matching letter. So I'll hand them an A, and I'll be like, okay, this is lowercase a. Do you remember what uppercase A looks like? If they don't, I've got alphabet stuff all over my room. I'll just point it out to them. So they're going to go look for this A, and again, they can drop the guy in like he's diving, or this way, he's going to jump in cannonball, and there you go. How fun is that? This is actually free right now. I will leave a link for this. I've got this for free for a short time. And then I think I might add it to my Teachers Pay Teachers store with a couple of other little things. But I'll leave a link for that. There'll be a little form that you fill out, and you'll get a link to it in your Dropbox or your email. But got another thing. So I've shown this before, and this has made my circle time so much fun, you guys. And the kids, I have done this now with Halloween, with weather, with Christmas. I did a little reindeer, and it was a Rudolph, and it goes beep. Well, okay. Our first week back, we focus on winter, and the first book we read is The Snowy Day. So there's a part in the book where Peter takes a stick, hits a tree, and snow. I always ask the kids, because I want to see if they understand cause and effect. While I read, I always say, what do you think's going to happen? Like, what happens when you hit a tree full of snow with a stick? What happens? And, you know, we live in a place where there's lots of snow, usually, not right now. But they all know the snow's going to fall down, right? And it falls on Peter's head. Plop. And I always say plop. So I have 10 of these little plop cards. I have got a set of lowercase letter cards, 0 through 20 number cards. I only printed to 15 because that's all I'm going to do in January with my kiddos, is take them up to 15. I'll probably stick with 10 for my 3-year-olds. And I've got uppercase letters. So what I do is I sit in front of the class during circle time, and they all know, they love this so much. I'll say, okay, we're going to sing the alphabet song, because most of them know the alphabet song by rote. Doesn't mean they know the letters. Parents always go, oh, they can sing the whole alphabet. That doesn't mean really anything. It's like they can count to 10, but could they give me 10 objects? That's when I know they've got it, right? So I want them to associate what the letters look like with the song. So we go through this whole thing, and we'll go, okay, let's start our alphabet song. A, B, C, D, plop, E. Okay, do you see how we had to stop the singing, say plop, then we're picking it back up again? E, F, plop, G, H, I, J, plop, K, L, M, plop, N, O, P, Q. And I'll be like, this is going on a long time. R, S, plop. S, see, I even kept going. T, U, V, plop. W, X, plop. Y, and Z. And I usually will count how many like plop cards that I've got in there, and I'll say, okay, there's 5 today, and we have 10 total. So we work our way up to 10. And sometimes I go, okay, and they go again, every single time. We've done this so many times, and they still want to do it again and again. So I know they're learning the letters that way. They think they're just having this great time. I know 2 things are happening. They are having a great time. They are making the connection of the song to the letters. They are learning those letters. They are knowing what they look like. Once they have uppercase, I might throw in the lowercase and we'll sing the alphabet song. And I'll get them learning that too. They love it. Therefore, they care about it. They're going to learn so much more. And like I said, again and again, they want it again and again. So after I finish, I'll say, okay, I'll do it tomorrow, and I'm going to mix it up. And I have last month for Christmas, and we had the reindeer that you said beep while we were singing the alphabet. I did a couple beep cards in a row, and I had never done that before. And oh my gosh, they just thought that was the greatest thing ever. It was so fun and so fantastic. But those are just 2 letter activities that I did. And they're so easy. They're so easy. But there's this playful, like this being a kid part of it, that's just going to aid in their learning. So they're going to be having a blast, and they're going to be learning something. Even if it's super passive, that's okay. My whole room is full of passive learning. There's numbers on the wall, letters on the wall, shapes on the wall, colors, just like vocabulary for every single unit where they can see it. So there's a ton of passive learning going on. There's a ton of social emotional learning going on. There is a ton of just developmental leaps that are happening day after day. Why not add some cognitive development too, in a way that's going to work for them and make your classroom function better? So if you like this little thing, I've got the uppercase letters, lowercase letters, and numbers that I'm actually going to email out this week to all of my email subscribers. So if you subscribed to one of my other things, you're already on the list and you'll get this plop set. But if you sign up for this cute little penguin, narwhal, and polar bear jumping letter match game, you'll be on that list, and you will get this cute little plop set. And you guys, I am not kidding when I tell you that it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. I started with this teeny idea, and I built it into something that I went, oh my gosh, I know my kids are going to love this, and it's going to add more play. I am always thinking, how am I going to add more play to this? How am I going to make this more playful? So I am hoping in the coming weeks, because January is going to be all devoted to learning through play, I'm going to pick just some of my regular centers that I do over and over in my lesson plans, and I am going to show you ways that you can make these run-of-the-mill activities more playful. And hopefully that will give you some inspiration to bring more play to some mundane activities, or at least to start thinking that way. And once you start thinking that way, I swear, like, ideas are going to come. And you're just going to get so much just great energy and feel really super excited about teaching again this second half of the year. We all start the year so super excited. We've got this long break in the middle. Let's hit the ground running and make this, like, 2024 is going to be the year of learning through play. And play is your ticket to everything, I promise you. Your classroom management, your social emotional skills, and learning your executive functioning skills, all of it's going to come together the more play you can put in your classroom. And that's all I have today. There will be a link for the little polar plunge letter matching game in the description. But thanks so much for watching. Have a happy new year.